It sound right, boys.
After weeks of ranging and building massive support, is the market prepared for a move so big that crypto holders around the world will be left with trouser stains so bad they may never come out? And top altcoins are seemingly in very eruptive positions after consolidating in very important ranges. But what if I told you we haven't even seen the biggest money shot of this cycle? I'm your host, 2 Pump Patrick, and sometimes 3 pumps if I've gotten dumped on. Absolutely very big. They say it's always most quiet before the biggest eruptions, and I can tell you from personal experience that is definitely the case. So we're going to be looking at what exactly is going on with this market, as we've seen some very quiet price action, but I believe that is all about to come to an abrupt end. If you're new to the channel, make sure to like, subscribe, change so you miss these absolutely time-sensitive alerts, as well. Absolutely explosive growth in our 1-week-old ADA pool, absolutely huge. So if you're interested in safely earning rewards by delegating to our new pool with only a 2% margin, the lower the margin, the better for you. Make sure to check out just a quick 3-minute tutorial here. It never leaves your wallet, and you can delegate it at any time, so there's literally no reason not to stake it if you plan on holding your Cardano. And without any further ado, let's dump it. Wow, so we're going to be going over the top 3 cryptos here in terms of their price action, because they're all looking extremely ready for something very, very big here. And specifically, I want to take a look at one of these charts, and yeah, absolutely very big. But before we do, I've been in the market for nearly 5 years now, and I've seen a lot of changes. You know, back in 2017, 2018, there was the ICO boom, which was huge. Projects like, unfortunately, Bitcoin Cash, which is probably the only crypto that I actually talk bad about, besides Dogecoin also. Litecoin, Monero, Zcash all rotated in and out of the top 10, but now these projects are struggling to stay relevant, and there are quite a number of reasons for this, but Bitcoin obviously is Bitcoin. It is number one. But with that in mind, what people wanted to do back then was make it a currency. People were very adamant in 2017 about calling Bitcoin a currency. People were very willing. They were trying to get Bitcoin used anywhere, right? Adoption was the big thing, but over the last few years, people realized it is fairly slow, and there's many other better options for speed. And so that is why the fundamental and like paramount use of Bitcoin right now is as a store of value, because it does keep, I personally think it's the best store of value there is. It is not the best currency, right? Bitcoin is not that good of a currency. And again, that's why you've heard this entire bull run, so like the past 2 years, you've heard of Bitcoin as a store of value, not really as a currency, right? That's not really what the goal of it is at this point, and that's not how it's marketed. But with that being said, there's a long history, even over just the past few years, of what's gone in and out of fashion here. Privacy coins obviously have been kind of dumped on just because privacy gets more regulated than anything. Governments absolutely hate privacy coins, which at the end of the day, a blockchain being public is not the end of the world, okay? But with smart contracts, the ability to interact with this DeFi landscape, which started about a year ago, over a year ago, back in the summer of last year, and it is still growing immensely. This summer was very big on NFTs, but DeFi is still here. In fact, DeFi is still extremely exciting, and older tokens like Litecoin, XMR, or Monero, Bitcoin Cash, they require special services to kind of have a DeFi feature. Specifically now, a lot of new protocols are really directed towards proof of stake, like Cardano, right? Ethereum is a proof of work coin, but ETH 2.0 the point of that is to switch it from proof of work to proof of stake. So even ETH will eventually be a proof of stake coin as well. It's better for the environment, and a lot of people just like that better, right? So that's exactly what a staking pool is. If you delegate to our pool, you are participating in a proof of stake consensus to help validate the network, to help mint blocks, to help secure the network. So really that's where it's headed and what's really growing lately. So proof of stake and DeFi are pretty much like two of the biggest categories in crypto over these past, specifically like the last year and a half. It's been extremely explosive. So I think it makes a lot of sense that we're going to continue to see capital and value added to that. Proof of stake coins related to DeFi. Those are like, again, I just think there's so much capital involved in those giant general areas there, and that's what we've seen this entire bull cycle. So Ethereum obviously leading DeFi, and at this moment, ADA obviously is the biggest proof of stake crypto. So I think it's just very important to be talking about these. Obviously, there's Bitcoin. That is the store of value. And with that being said, Bitcoin is in a very, very, very interesting position now. This is like the fourth day in a row. We've just been right on the 21-day moving average, a little above it, and then the next day a little bit below it, and then the next day above it and below it. But overall, there is something very, very interesting shaping up, and this consolidation is extremely healthy, I believe, and I think personally that we are going to be seeing a massive move in Bitcoin over the next few days. Specifically, Monday is going to be huge because it's going to be very important to watch the stock market, as again, we just have to really be paying attention to that because there is a slight possibility that the hopes and dreams of the stock market are on borrowed time, limited time. But before we continue with Bitcoin, Ethereum has flipped its last gigantic level of resistance, and it's pretty much just battling that for support right around like the 3,400. This range right here, you can see we were held down here for quite a long time. And, after this most recent move above it, then that dump, we're still just like battling right above it now. So we reclaim this. I see Ethereum absolutely erupting here, not to mention Ethereum paired with Bitcoin. We talked about this chart over a year ago and even before that, but specifically, I remember talking about this here, saying, wow, this is the beginning of Ethereum breaking out against Bitcoin. And this was in the summer of last year, right? You can go back and watch the videos I made back then. Now we're all the way, this is back when we were at like 2% of a Bitcoin. Currently, we're sitting at 7%. So about a 3x in the value of Ethereum paired against Bitcoin. And as I said back then, what I said back then was I thought we would eventually hit 15%. And that would still require actually a lot. So we're about halfway there pretty much, but I think Ethereum has a lot to go in terms of the Bitcoin pair, but as well, ADA has absolutely exploded in the Bitcoin pair as well. And there have been multiple peaks here. Okay, we had this initial peak back in February and even the end of February of 2021, another peak here back in the middle of May. And most recently, we've gotten another peak just about a month ago at the end of August. And we've seen these levels kind of get back tested here. I think this level is going to be a very big back test area, kind of exactly where we're testing right now. But I still think that especially these top two alts have a lot of explosive growth that we're going to be seeing in just the next even month. Okay, I think this is going to be very, very quick. I think the time of this bull cycle is extremely limited at this point. I personally think there's I would even say about 3 months left of this cycle. A lot of people are saying like 3 to 6. I think it is. I think it's on its last legs. I think we're going to be seeing one more massive explosion before potentially entering a consolidatory phase. And this is the Bitcoin dominance. If it does anything similar to what it did during the last cycle, we will see Bitcoin ramp up in dominance, and then we will see altcoins absolutely explode. And that is illustrated here by this drop. This drop down to what I believe will be at least 30%. Bitcoin's lowest it's ever gone so far in dominance is about 35%. I think that we will see at least a 30% Bitcoin dominance at some point during the cycle, most likely at the end, because usually altcoins gain their most value towards the end of Bitcoin pumps and Bitcoin cycles here. But yeah, with what I started the video off with, proof of stake and DeFi and altcoins really becoming more and more valuable, more and more, just gaining more and more interest because they can do more things. Keep in mind, Bitcoin is very limited in what it can do. What it can do, it does extremely well, better than anything else, but it can only do certain things. And again, the point of technology is to grow, to evolve, to change, and to get better. What is cryptocurrency? It is a technology. So it just blows my mind that people think that it should be one thing and never branch out and do other things. Again, I've said this in past videos. It's like the antithesis of technology. Okay, you want technology to get better. You want it to provide more and more use case, more and more utility. And DeFi is just another example of this. So it always blows my mind when Bitcoin maximalists are maximalists, because why would you not want this amazing technology to figure out new ways of doing other things and benefiting people in other ways? It's just, I cannot wrap my head around how small you have to be thinking to really think, no, it should only be a store of value. We should just have slow transactions forever and that's it. And we should discount all of this other opportunity, all of these other possibilities. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if Bitcoin maximalists want it or not, because the technology will continue to grow. It will continue to evolve, whether or not Bitcoin maximalists like it or not. They clearly don't like it, but it's going to happen. It absolutely does not matter at all what they want. Let's make the show. Make sure to like, subscribe. Genius misses absolutely time-sensitive alerts. As well, if you're interested in staking to our pool, only a 2% margin, average APY is around 5%, and we will start seeing our first rewards within the next week. It is a brand new pool, so that's why, but it will be there will be rewards every 5 days, which is every epoch. But yeah, if you want to join the pool, earn rewards, just get ADA by staking with our pool. You can join below. There's a quick 2-minute tutorial there if you don't know how. And without any further ado, that's it for me. Bye-bye.